and like this book. I rated Wicked Saints 2 out of 5 stars because a lot of this book was a mess, and there was only like one thing that I read it for that I didn't even get by the end of the book. And you know what? I might end up changing it to 1. Who knows? Open scene characters. Nadia. She is the cleric of all the gods, you know. Her divine mission to destroy the neighboring kingdom of evildoers, of blood magicians, heretics, you know. Oh, heretics. And bring the gods back to that side of the land. And then there is Seraphim. He is the crown prince of Trevania, I believe it's pronounced, or whatever, which is the evil kingdom, full of blood mages, and he's their war hero, basically. He was put into the war when he was 16. It's been 3 or 4 years since then, and he's just been killing people left and right, being a destructive, vicious person is what we are told in the first chapter. Then we get his POV and he's like a regular person. It's just, he doesn't even like the war. He just happens to be very, very good at it. The only reason I continued to read the book, even though it proved itself to not be very good, was because I thought Malachi's character was going to struggle with what he was and what he wanted to do. So as a vulture, and the type of vulture he is, he has a Super Saiyan like special form, but it's also very, very like dark-sided and distorted. It makes him very much less than human, and and he presented it in a way that was like, oh, I hate that about myself. It's so hard to like just like, you know, like not like go feral. And I was like, that's amazing. I would love to see that, like that be his struggle. And that's the only reason I kept reading the book, because I just really wanted to know like if that's what was gonna happen. But that wasn't it. He uses blood magic once and does not use it again till towards the end of the book. Who's the clown now? Now, the issues I had with this book basically were, pacing was bad. Plot was also pretty bad. I hated the romance. I hated the romance so much. I really did. She really tried to sell me on that. When you have an enemies to lovers trope, right? Because Nadia ends up falling in love with Malachi. That's not his name, but that's how I'm gonna pronounce it. He turns out to be a blood mage, a vulture, which is a very dark-sided type of blood mage. They're very vicious, and terrifying to anyone who knows what a vulture is. She ends up falling in love with him. Initially, she hates him. She sees him as an abomination and an affront to all the gods. And is like, when this is over, I'm going to kill him. 1, because I have to, and 2, because you're like disgusting. But he starts showing some symptoms of anxiety, and all of a sudden, maybe he's not that bad. Girl, come on, get with the program. So in the first 2 chapters, we basically, the way we're introduced to Severin, he seems to be like a really, really like horrible person. And I thought the plot was going to be us reading 2 sides of a hunt, really, because he was hunting Nadia. He was like, I found out she's a cleric. I killed her entire monastery, and I'm gonna find her and bring her back home, so that the people can use her blood to be more powerful, you know, because that's just the job. And I thought it was gonna be like, you know, just different like sides of the hunter and the hunted, and I thought that was really cool. That was really interesting. I didn't think there was gonna be any romance in here because of the very, very like the ideological like differences that everyone in here had. I'm not saying that you can't like be friends with or even love someone who is different from you like that, but I mean, we're talking about like the actual existence of gods, and they're telling you that that whole side is evil because of the magic that they use, and you've been told that your entire life. I can understand if you hate everybody who uses that magic. It just makes sense. I can understand why she would be like, maybe, you know, maybe she falters. That's fine. But for her to full on fall in love with him, I didn't believe in that. I really didn't. Another issue with pacing is that there were a lot of elements here that could have been their own book entirely if they took long enough, if that makes sense. So there was a period of time, you know, traveling. There are books where travel was very prominent. That could have been a whole thing. There was a period when Nadia had to pretend to be a suitor for the prince in order to get close to him and the king. That itself, that whole thing, there are books where like that entire situation is the book, right? And then there was a part where they decided that the three of them were going to work together because some witch told them to, basically. And, keep Severin alive and also kill the king. That could have also been, like, I feel like this book needed to be longer. Oh, really? It needed to be a lot longer for us to really appreciate everything she was trying to do here. I feel like she pulled, like, certain elements too fast. And actually, the final act itself was really, 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 really shit. I feel like that's really harsh, but also the way that it was presented was this. Nadia found out Malachi was a dirty liar because he told her one thing and omitted details like, oh, he's the leader of the vultures. He also didn't tell her that he was the one who found out a new way to create a vulture, and that's why he's so different from the rest of them, because his magic is a little more volatile, and that he's really... He just is not a good person. And I won't lie, he never said he was a good person. But he did lie to her, and she was upset about that, reasonably. And then she didn't forgive him. She was more like... I don't know, it was strange. That was another part that was weird. She didn't forgive him, but she wasn't like, I hate you and I'll never speak to you again. They got in bed together again. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you need to break up with a man and he convinces you that you don't need to break up with him. And then in the morning you get betrayed by that same man because you didn't listen to the warning signs. Severin dies that night when they fight because they split up or whatever. But nobody knows, and in the morning the king is like, ha ha.
I'm up to no good. For real.
And walks into the Vulture throne room with this new power. And side note about the king, he does not get developed at all. All we know about him is that he's crazy because they told us he was crazy. And he beat Severin, I don't know, that's at some point. He's just not nice. That's all we found out. It is the king is not nice. Did we expect the king of the Blood Mage Kingdom to be a good guy? No. Could he have had more lines? Yeah. Anything. Like, anything at all. Guess what? Severin was alive. Oh my gosh, he was okay. I don't know how this happened, and it's probably explained in the second book that I will not be reading, but he came back to life. It's not explained at all. The chapter where he died is also not really good either. It's really just a bunch of, like... It's a bunch of artistic prose, the entire thing. It's like there was darkness, and there was light, and then there was horrible pain. There was a before and an after. Severin? Was he still Severin? This, that, and the third? A moth? And then the chapter ends, and it's like, what did that mean? And then he walks into the throne room and is like, Dad, you tried to kill me. I thought we were homies. That's just a joke. Severin can sometimes be a wisecracker. Haha. I keep saying Severin. That's not his name. It's Seraphim. Who is Severin? Who is Severin? Wait a minute. Oh, that's from the darkest part of the forest. Severin, the fae in the glass case. That's who I'm thinking of. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. But anyways, yeah, whatever. His personality is a little weird. He fights his dad, and Nadia his dad fights Nadia, and there's a whole thing. Nobody dies, which is cool. Except for the king. I lied. The king dies. They kill him. And then Malachi, he was there the whole time. Malachi was like, oh, king, how's your new power? And everybody in the room who was working with him was like, what do you mean, how's his new power? I thought we all agreed last night not to let Seraphim die. Seraphim die. And Malachi was like, I'm a liar, and I have lied again. The whole showdown happened. The king died. And Malachi got up. Oh, because he was sitting down on his throne the whole time. I promise you, he was not involved in that fight. He sat on his ass the entire time. He was just chilling. He was just vibing. He came down, and he got his chalice, and he was like, 1 glass of king's blood. A wonderful mint. And Nadia said, you know what? This made me mad. I won't lie. At this point, Nadia's been lied to and betrayed twice by this obnoxious idiot. And he's proven himself to be a dark-sided, unremorseful, unrepentant dickhead. And she's like, no. She's like, Malachi, don't drink the wine. The wine. don't drink his blood. You know, like, you can go back. You can do this and do that. You know, we can fix you. Like, whatever. You don't have to go about your ideology in this way. And he was like, is there any other way? He becomes some creature of the night and flies off into the blood rain. That's not a joke either. And everyone's just left shocked. Speechless. This book was not very good. The end. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for my emotional damages.